Well, thank you. You are staying us for further updates from the West Asia region. Iran is accusing European powers of violating their commitments under the nuclear 2015 deal. At a press conference in Tehran, Foreign Ministry spokesman Ismail Baqai sharply criticised Britain, France and Germany, saying they failed to honour their JCPOA obligations. This diplomatic development comes as Iran prepares to host Russia and China for trilateral talks on Tuesday, amid European threats of reimposing sanctions. Tehran says the talks will focus on Europe's failure to uphold the deal and on what it calls illegitimate pressure over Iran's atomic program. The remarks mark a fresh escalation in tensions between Iran and the West.
طرفای اروپایی خودشون متهم هستند به خاطر اینکه هم قصور داشتن هم تقصیر در ایفای تعهداتشون طبق برجام و بدتر اینکه بعد از تجاوز نظامی رژیم صهیونیستی نه تنها محکوم نکردند بلکه با برخی موضع‌گیری‌ها به نوعی در صدد توجیه این تجاوز برآمدند.
We're now once again joined by Professor Seykal, who will give us a bit more insight about what's going on here. Professor Seykal, what was this 2015 nuclear deal between Iran and Europe, and how serious is Tehran's accusation that Europe has violated it?
Well, it was a landmark multilateral agreement which was signed between Iran and the 5 members of the Security Council, including the United States, as well as Germany. And under that agreement, Iran had agreed to downgrade its uranium enrichment to 3.7% for civilian purposes and returned for the United States lifting all the sanctions. And that agreement had been approved also by the United Nations Security Council. And everybody was very happy. I mean, of course, the other signatories to the agreement were Great Britain, France, Germany, Russia, and China. But Prime Minister Netanyahu called that agreement as the worst deal of the century, and he totally opposed it. And when President Trump came to power during his first presidency, he withdrew the United States from the agreement in May 2018, and that basically rendered the agreement defunct. But there was a clause in the agreement which was called snapback. The Iranians took advantage of that, and they accelerated their uranium enrichment and also installed more advanced centrifuges. And they enriched uranium up to 60% purity, which is a little bit below weapon grade. And that stockpile they stockpiled something like about 400 kilograms of enriched uranium. And that was a clear warning, or at least the Prime Minister Netanyahu and the President Trump felt extremely uncomfortable about this development. And that was one of the reasons that ignited the war between Israel and the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Yes, exactly. Professor Seykal, how might Europe respond to these allegations? Is there any room for diplomatic de-escalation, or are sanctions now inevitable?
Well, there is room for diplomatic de-escalation. The European member signatories to that agreement can play an important role in terms of bridging the differences between the United States and Iran. The sticking point so far, or previously in a negotiation between Iran and the United States, was Washington's emphasis on zero enrichment, and Iran basically calling that a red line. And therefore, they were not really prepared to go for zero enrichment. And that is where the negotiation had faltered. And the Prime Minister Netanyahu took advantage of that and attacked Iran because he always believed that the only way that they can resolve the Iranian nuclear program is by military action. And he had always demanded a Libyan-type resolution that Iran should give up its entire nuclear program. And that's something that I think the Iranians say that they're not going to do that.
Professor Seikal, thank you very much for your insight and joining us on the program. We now move over to Europe, where Russia says there's still a lot